Okay, zero.
Boit.
We're live. We're live. Hang on. Let me. I forgot to count down. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. All right, we got. Let me make sure it's on the page. Yeah. Okay. Let me check the sound. Let's see. Okay, we're good. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got two people in. Let me share this out. Let me share it out to the group, to the page, and then we'll roll the show out.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see, here. 10 people, they're coming in. So it is 8:30 in New York City. All right.
Yes.
And let's see, the light.
Honey's here. Hi.
Okay, Honey's in the house?
Yes.
All right. All right. So who we got here? Dina Devine, Honey Borden.
Friend Dina, yes, this is amazing. You're gonna meet her someday because she's twin flame, you know.
Oh yeah. Catarina Debriere Prudence Kalu is in the house. She puts out great stuff every day. Michael Van Patten, Cricket Holden, Angela Brinkerhoff. Took me a long time to get to say her name right. She's a very good friend of mine. Eliza Whitworth, Huang Nguyen, Debbie Heggie, Beth Buslash, Mary Cooper, Deborah Pillardi, Katarina Christie Duck, Annie Killick, Wendy Hall Umstead's here, Lynn Dumont Johnson, Nick DiMartino from Australia. Okay, so there's some new faces in the house. Geraldine's here from Ireland. Let me just introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Todd Medina. This is the Soulogy.1 network. And this is our primary show called Soul Speaks 5D. So if these shows resonate with you, please share. We would appreciate it. Hello, Honey Borden. Let's see you. We have a special show today. Morgan was watching a very incredible live of a rainbow, really a double rainbow, but it really wasn't a rainbow. It was some kind of interdimensional dome. And we've got some pictures of that and some other pictures that we're going to talk about, as well as talk about the life and experiences of our guest, Simone Boits, is here with us today. Thank you for honoring us with your presence and sharing space with us today.
My pleasure.
Morgan went on a live yesterday, and she was the only one watching you, and she was like, "Oh my God, something's going on." So, thank you, Morgan, for talking Simone into coming on. I know she drives a hard bargain. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're originally from Brazil, from Sao Paulo,
yes.
And you've been in New York for 29 years.
Yes.
And I would imagine that in itself gives you a lot of contrast in your life. So you talked a little bit about 2012, or when you started to be exposed to all this. When did you wake up in your mind? When did you wake up to things were different than what we were told?
Todd, in 2014, I really began feeling the ascension symptoms, which I thought was going out of my mind. I was just was this, my third eye. I think everything was buzzing, and I was just not feeling like myself. My vibrancy, there was a lot of, I didn't know exactly what was happening, and I now understand that was part of the ascension symptoms, And please forgive me, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. Take a breath. You're good.
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation.
Yes. And I very luckily, I was actually started taking medication because I thought I was bipolar. And thank God, I very quickly realized that was not the case. And, you know, thank God. And I got back to myself again, you know, and then things began to evolve from there.
That was in 2014.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I know we're going to get into, I mean, I know you work with rainbow energy, and I'm sure maybe some other things as well, but, and there's some extraordinary things going on around you. What was your journey like from 2014? I mean, did you immediately have these rainbow energies coming in? Did you have other galactic or divine essences coming in? Were you receiving any type of downloads or anything?
I was, but I didn't know what it was. So the rainbow energy is something very new, and I just now recently, just like a few days ago, find out what it was. But what was happening to me in 2015, I have had somewhat of a heartbreak, and it's one of those things that happens to us in life that is to challenge us. And I felt when that happened to me, something divinely took over my being, and I connected to this frequency of forgiveness, unconditional love, and compassion. And it allowed me to see things from the bird's eye view, and understand that whatever was occurring was a opportunity for me to grow and experience something that later on I found out it would help me guide others through their experiences with grace and gratitude, because everything happens for us, and we just have to trust.
Right.
Yes.
Now, were you getting this information from any energy in particular, or was it just coming in as universal intelligence?
It was just coming in as universal intelligence, and you know, things have happened in the past, but I just didn't associate. I didn't consciously know that they were. You asked me about a galactic. In 2005, I lived in Hicksville, which is right next to the Grumman, which makes those airplanes for the military and so on and so forth. And one night I was coming back from New York City, like at dawn, and I lived in a house that was like a 3-floor. And I was with a friend of mine. We were smoking at the time. I used to smoke. We were smoking a cigarette in the balcony on the 2nd floor. When we look up, there was a ship, a triangular ship with lights, and both of us, I think we were so scared. I didn't look back up again. It was really right above us, like very, very close. So I think that a portal opened somehow, or we were in a consciousness that allow us to see that, because it was very, very close to the house. And we both just put our heads like on each other like this, and we crouched out, and we just got inside the apartment again. And we talked a little bit about that, but that somehow went off my consciousness. So that, I think, was my first galactic experience. I have had dreams, a lot of dreams. Before I even awoke it, I always had dreams about things, and I have had dreams about ships and about things like that. But I just never put everything together. All the pieces of the puzzle are all coming in together for me now.
Oh, wow.
It's very incredible.
Yeah. Now, you recently came into this rainbow energy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct. So a few months ago, maybe about 2 months ago, I began to become very, very attracted when I see rainbow around my house, into exposing my hands to it or whatever, you know. And this is about 2 months ago max. And I usually post all my photographs.
Right.
And I've been traveling quite a lot, especially this year, in nature. And something that is a frequency that takes over, this joy And I have been guided to just start photographing these lights that I see it. And the most incredible things comes out, like in you know, and so this became very prominent because before I wasn't noticing. You know, I found a photo from 2015 in Costa Rica, which there is this rainbow coming out. I just saw this picture, you know, so I wasn't really aware that this was already manifesting in my life.
Is this
This
the
was
one
in
you're
Colorado. No, this one was in Colorado, just on 12/13. Was the day I broke my wrist.
okay?
I was going up, you know, another synchronicity too. I was in Sedona on 11/11. That trip was planned way ahead of time. I didn't realize that that was a portal. That was a major week. And then another trip to Colorado on the 12/12 week. So I happened to be in these incredible locations at that time of incredible energetic, you know, gateways opening. So in this specific photograph, we were going up a mountain. On 12/12, I was in the Garden of the Gods, was unplanned, and it was incredible. The things I've experienced and that I've seen there, you know, I could see the mount, like through the mountains, I could see the aura of the mountain. It was just very sacred and incredible. And on my way out, I began to feel like, so around 7 p.m., I was leaving the Garden of the Gods. I was by myself, actually. I began to feel incredible energy on my left hand. And I'm like, either I'm having a heart attack or something amazing is happening here, because it was an energy. I am a Reiki, advanced Reiki master. I have a practice here in Long Island. So I feel energy, but I've never felt anything in that scale, something very, very unique, how it bounced
Wow.
it, right? So this was on 12/12. This photograph is on 12/13. We were going on a hike the next day. We were going snowshoeing with these mountaineers, and so we wanted to go up the mountain to get acclimated to the, you know, to the altitude, and it was 50 degrees out, so we didn't need any gear going up this mountain. It was a 9,000 feet mountain, Mount Falcon. And taking the photographs, you know, I began again. This photograph is many that shows this rainbow energy around me everywhere. And they
Right.
began very prominently since Sedona, which was on that 111 trip,
Yes.
11/11 trip that I was before. As we're going up the mountain, I began to feel the energy again as I'm starting passing trees. And I was blown away. I told my husband, this is incredible. I'm feeling this energy that I felt yesterday. We go up, and you know, I'm very grateful. I just feel I'm not in this world when I am around these locations that I've been so blessed to experience.
Right.
And when we were, so you know how the sun goes down very quickly. At 4:30, the sun goes down and the temperature begins to go down very rapidly as well. So when we're coming down the mountain, it became black ice. And I fell and I broke my wrist. This is the wrist, by the way. This is not even a month ago. I am moving my wrist and I am incredible.
Oh, so this was a month ago.
A month ago.
This all just happened at the end of 2018.
Yes, this was on
Oh wow.
12/13, December 13.
Oh wow.
And we were very high up the mountain. It was a very dangerous situation because when I broke my wrist, I almost passed out. It was just me and my husband. It was getting dark, very cold, and we were about 2.5 hours from the bottom of the mountain.
Wow.
So we called the rescuers, and you know, we had to go down. It was icy, it was black ice out, and my arm. That's what I'm so protected. I felt that this happened. There was some amazing energy protecting me throughout this whole ordeal, and my arm was frozen. I went down the mountain. And we met the rescuers, like, you know, in the middle of it. And so we went down. My wrist was broken very badly, and when we got into the hospital, and they went to set my bone up. They did sedate me, but I was conscious. I was placed in this chamber, which I perceived was a ship. And all I could see was the vibration and the colors. It was like this shimmery, almost like a pinkish. And I just could see the rotation, but I could also hear the voices from the team downstairs. And my husband told me that when they were setting the bone, I was screaming, but there was no voice coming out. But yet, my whole consciousness was somewhere else. And I came back and I told my husband, I was home. I was just in this amazing, I know it was a ship. I was in this chamber of, so my wrist is healing extremely rapidly. And so I do believe that, something took place or some type of activation or protection, definitely.
Do you have any idea of what kind of ship it was or what star family it was?
So, Todd, everything is happening so very rapidly with me. On January 11, until then, I send you a bunch of different photographs with different frequencies and colors, and I've been sharing with some people, and they explaining to me that it's all different frequencies taking place. So on January 11, just about a week ago, right, 10 days ago, I had a quantum session with Isabella Green. And these three beings came through, which is Sirius, which I already knew. I've always knew. Nobody had to tell me that I had a very deep connection with Sirius. I've always been sky obsessed. It's almost like that's my home.
Yeah.
Never, I didn't know Sirius came into my awareness what the name of that star was, like about a year ago, three beings came. It was Sirius, Andromedan, and the rainbow being dimension. And they had a message for me. So this is now all coming together. I'm now understanding why all of this is manifesting in my photographs. And before I knew this information, I had in my conscious mind that as I'm working on people, when I'm doing my healings, to use that frequency to just imagine and seeing those lights going through people's bodies. But I didn't really know exactly what it was. It's just a very incredible interactive force that's really with me. I just don't know how to explain what it is. I'm just feeling it,
Yeah, but it's definitely, if I look at the pictures, and they're out of order, but
yes,
this one was the one from yesterday.
Yesterday.
And what I find amazing about this is that there, underneath that rainbow, it's everything's different. The colors are different. Yeah.
Yes.
And it to me, I think Morgan might have told you, we had a portal. We had a portal appear above our heads where we were staying a couple of nights before the full moon.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of it because that portal was a darker color. It was a rectangle, like a door. And the clouds would come underneath it that were white, but the color came through.
Right.
So it was like interdimensional. And that's what I see here. It's like underneath that rainbow, everything's different.
Yes. And what was so interesting, Todd, it was raining. It was pouring rain here for 24 hours. And I was here in the office because after the eclipse, I had made a promise that I was going to let go of certain fears. One being of speaking in public like we are here today.
Yeah, go figure.
And the other one, yes. And so I was preparing a proposal to start doing some work with crystals because I am a crystal healer and I work also with Reiki and pyramids in here. And I wanted to get out of my comfort here, my practice, and start doing some of the work outside of here. And I had an idea of working with companies that have wellness programs for the employees. So it's aligned with, so I would be super grateful to come in and share the gift of crystals, like to empower people, to make them feel more confident and work along the lines. So I'm working on this proposal. And I don't know what made me go into the kitchen, because it was still raining as far as I know. And I go into the kitchen quickly, and I look outside the door, and I just saw the corner and I immediately just ran out of the house. And I was just so excited. And I got my phone and I started videotaping, because this rainbow, I sent you some photographs of my hands
Yes.
after I received the information. No, not this one. This is something else from
Yeah.
photograph. It's like the hands. This is also before.
I think I have it here. Let's
With
see.
the hands, you know, the energy, the color of the rainbows that appears in my office all the time became much more intense, you know, and then when I had that session on 111, the beings told me that I was going to be in a position to share. So when this rainbow appeared and Morgan asked me to come in on the show to share, I knew I couldn't really, you know, postpone, because I think it's what I'm being called to do. So I thought it was important to follow through and, you know, get over the fear.
Some type of connection.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see. Right. No, there's definitely some kind of connection there, and be careful what you ask for, because that's what you asked for in the full moon, right?
Absolutely.
Public speaking. Now, you know, for the last few years, more and more people are taking pictures, and they're having different sacred geometry and lights around them.
Yes.
And I think people have come to understand that those are actually emanating from the person. Do you feel like this rainbow that appeared out there was emanating from you or associated with you in some way?
I just thought it was incredible. I knew that when I saw the rainbow, I don't know if it was for me. I saw it as a sign for sure. It was just right in front. I just felt it was right in front of my house, and I was just blown away, because every single day there's rainbow appearing today, even like, you know, it's just all the time. And so that was just incredible to see. I was just in awe. You know, and
Was anybody else out there? Did anybody else see it out there?
no, it was actually drizzling a little bit. So it was just cars passing by, you know, and I was just photographing, and I'm like, I have to go live. I got to videotape this thing, you know. Just thought it was incredible.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, that is the energy we're moving into. I mean,
Yes.
Morgan said it just popped up on her screen. There you were, and here we are now. So
exactly.
You know, to me, it's more evidence that our higher selves are working together, and our human selves are hearing what they want us to do, basically, and not in a language, but just like in incidents like this. But you feel like that you part of your role is to use this rainbow energy in your work. Is that right?
That's what I felt before I even knew where this rainbow energy was coming from, because according, you know, the beings told me it's part of me. There are three. The Syrian was already activated, and then this Andromedan, which I didn't even know about that galactic family. I was reading about later. I just saw something about on your post today. I was not really aware of it, and the rainbow. So it just made sense why I was feeling so drawn to really put rainbow in my hands every single day. Like when you see it, especially before a session, but just for myself. Like I even had my broken arm on the rainbow, like because I just felt it was, you know. But something interesting that happened is when I came back from Sedona, I had this knowledge after seeing all the frequencies, this blue ray, And I was reading Shekinah Rose. It just came into my heart about being a Blu-ray starseed, because I didn't know I was a starseed. I really didn't really know what a starseed was, to be quite honest. So I just been experiencing. So it's not something I've been reading about. I've been understanding things as they come into my field of awareness. That's how things are happening,
Yeah.
to me. And it's very interesting.
So this just happened to you, Sedona. You were there in November, right?
I was there the whole week of November 11, and
Yeah. And I had just left there, I think on October 28th or 29th. Shekinah is a very good friend of mine. In fact, there was a video that we did together, like this, a show like this was probably maybe 10 days ago.
Yes.
And the entire show, she talks about the Blu-ray. She talks about it. You might want to check it out.
Yes, I actually saw. I think I saw the whole post,
okay.
and it is amazing in every single thing. Like resonating like completely with my life, and also even the ages, like between 40 and 50, like how you have to find out on your own, like and that is it takes a while for you to speak up about, because Todd, what I understand, I mean, it's been years. I now put it together. There is a lot of signs in many different ways.
Yeah.
It's just that they were in my subconscious mind, and I wasn't putting them together, like
Yeah.
And it's just all the pieces of the puzzle. So it's very amazing, and I'm just so incredible, grateful to be able to. But the one thing that I know that is constant with me is this enormous amount of gratitude, which is a frequency in itself.
Yeah.
And after I connected, when I had the experiences, because I was tested a couple of times, and this frequency of forgiveness, this compassion, this unconditional love and gratitude immediately takes over me. Like, and it's a very interesting thing. And every single time that I have an event like that, I have then a trip like Sedona happened, and I have this incredible. The universe just gives me these gifts that are just surpasses anything I could ever possibly dream about it. So I think it's a frequency.
I was going to say, do you feel like when you get into that frequency, do you feel like maybe a higher aspect of you is entering you?
What I feel is this enormous amount of joy. When I'm at the places that anywhere in nature, doesn't really have to be Sedona. There is a park here around my home, and I took incredible photographs there. And this was, the past 2 years, not, and I felt the same. I felt the same energy, and it feels like the more grateful I am, the more untapped it occurs. Like I've never traveled this much. I thought and I just find myself always being in these most incredible places now that I don't even know I'm going. My husband subconsciously is bringing me to all these locations, and things just begins to manifest like that,
Yeah. Hang on one second. Something's burning? Okay. I smelled something burning. No, I was going to ask you, well, I think it's important because this is so, of course, you've been awake since 2014.
Yes.
But so many people are waking up now, and they seem to be moving through things faster than some of us who woke up a few years ago did. But what I'm getting at is, I love what you're talking about because of the recent, it's so recent. This is November and December. You just came into these rainbow energies, but you also say how all these things were in your subconscious and you just hadn't put the pieces together.
But I think in photographs as well. So it's been happening. So I sent you a photograph from 2015 with this rainbow. That's in Costa Rica. But that photograph just came to my awareness now.
Oh,
no, not this one. This was in New York earlier this year.
That's New York too.
This
That's
was yesterday.
yeah. I don't think they all downloaded. Let me see.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
No,
this
they
was
didn't.
Colorado. I
Yeah,
sent
some of them
some.
didn't come through.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
I
of them
sent.
didn't come through, but that's okay.
Exactly. It's
I mean,
okay.
but you've had this ongoing relationship with this rainbow frequency that's just
Yes.
now coming to the surface, and it
They
sounds
just
like
now identify. They
yeah,
are identified. They are from the rainbow dimension. There are three different
yeah.
frequencies working here, but the rainbow is just very, very prominent in my life right now, very much so.
I've never heard of that. Not that I hear everything, but I've never heard
Hmm.
of that. That's very intriguing.
Yes.
The you know the rainbow dimension or rainbow frequency. I wonder what that
So
is. I mean, that's
Teresa Cameron told me that, so the person, Isabella Green, I sent you a video in which she's explaining. She actually did a podcast about my session because she said it was very rare, first of all, to see three different beings, frequencies together. Usually she sees two, never three. But in her career, she has only seen one person with the rainbow energy.
yeah.
And I never heard about that. But I was speaking with Teresa Cameron, and she identified that as Kunda Ray.
Kunda Ray.
Kunda Ray. So I was reading a little bit about it. So I'm just learning about all of this as well. It's a very super high frequency,
Yeah.
Dimension.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say another thing I think that is important about your experience
Mm-hmm.
is what you said about how these things are just being presented to you. Like, for instance, how your husband is subconsciously taking you to these places.
Yeah.
And even with your friend who did the session with you or seeing the rainbow. I think that's important for people to hear because the ones that are just starting to put the pieces together or just waking up to
Yes.
understand that this is how the universe is communicating with us. It's not really through words so much, it's through a succession of synchronistic events and experiences that all when lined up together make a little story or make sense. Does that sound
That
like
makes
what you're going through?
that makes perfect sense. And you know, there was a connection with, and there is other things too, Todd. Like I see a lot of faces on trees. On when I was
Yeah.
in Sedona, I have a million photos because I post so many photographs
Yeah.
about because I'm documenting everything. I
Yeah.
see shapes, and I see. We were in a very sacred place in Sedona where they have the little, like like when you have the historical that they have the writings in the walls. I don't know the name of that, lithographs.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
as we walking through, there was like a tour, and was where the Hopi tribe used to live there. I don't
Yeah.
remember the name of the actual site, but I have the photographs.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So there was a tour, and all of a sudden there was one area where this guy made a homestead. So there was, how they put the fence so you can touch the walls where there's these writings. As I walked into this cave, I immediately I start seeing. I saw this carving of an animal and a person in the wall, and I'm like took photographs. I'm
Yeah.
like, how didn't nobody see this? Like, this is impossible. I
Yeah.
happened to be alone in the cave. Thought when I walked out, the lights. I'm gonna send you all of this because it was incredible. The lights again, it was insane.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? And I
Yeah.
feel that nature is speaking to us. The trees, I've been feeling energy from the trees,
Yeah.
like because I
Yeah.
honor them so much.
Yeah.
Before I even knew what was going on, I remember going to the parks as I was going through those stages where I had my heartbreak, and I was going to nature, and I was talking to the trees, and I was just in so much gratitude, just and they are communicating for sure. There is an
Absolutely.
energy there that is You know, we just need to connect everyone. The reason I want to share, because my family doesn't even know. My brother, I think when he hears this, he's gonna say, you know, either you're part of a cult. It's true. You know, but I am being fully authentic, and I'm living fully from my heart.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm very proud of this. But and like you said, it's very important to share these experiences because people are awakening, and many people may be having experiences, but they don't have anybody to speak about, to talk about it.
That's true. You know, that's true. And
it's so much excitement, and the friends that we have. I'm very blessed that you know, I have this amazing community. I'm meeting. I was put, you know, the universe also places us at the right place, the right times, and everybody, you begin attracting all of the people and activate each other. That's the other thing. We are activating each other from all over the globe. Like you know, I met Ramona Lapin that comes in the show all the time. There's such an amazing love. And Honey Borden, you know, Honey I know in person, you know, but again, synchronicity brought me to one of her workshops in Long Island, and we just became so close. She taught me so much, you know, and it's just for us to have an open heart, and I feel that the more grateful you are, the more open to the gifts that we have here. The universe is showing us, you know. There are forgiveness prayers, like there are tools that we have that everybody can do to be more connected and to raise your vibration every single day. And the more you raise your vibration, the more these higher frequencies, this higher knowledge begins to come down. Like, and this is what's happened to me, you know. And I want to share this with everybody I meet and the people that comes into my practice, because it's the reality of what's happening to me, you know, and it's available to all of us. You just have to tune in.
Yes. Yes. Now you have a practice, and I just want to put a plug in for the trees, because the trees have been with me since I woke up 7 years ago. And and so it's very real. And I'm saying this too, really, for the people that are putting the pieces together, the people that are waking up now. This is all real. This is the real natural nature of ourselves and our reality. Now you have a practice. And I guess you've had it for a while.
Not so long, Todd. In 2015, when I connected with this frequency, so something happened. I had an amazing job, and I was doing sales for a company that, you know, distributed hair salon products and amazing friends. But something, I remember having a conversation with a friend, and I remember saying, this is early 2015, I'm ready to do service in a different way. I need to take a course, and I thought I'm going to learn Reiki, because I thought it was the first, you know, I guess the stepping stone, because I didn't know. And for whatever reason, I couldn't find the schools around here. This was just around the time also that Sixtina fell into my path very synchronistically as well, as I was in out east. Things just began to happen, like, you know, everything falling into place. And by the time I started doing Reiki, I already started to begin feeling energy, and I already knew this was going to be my calling. I knew I needed to. And then crystals, I became certified with Krista Mitchell. Again, synchronistically fell into my lap. I knew I needed to be connected with that. And by the time of the eclipse of August 2016, correct? We had the eclipse?
Yes.
The big one, I remember that big one. I already knew.
2017. Yeah.
2017? Yeah, so that's when I told, I'm like, I'm going to dedicate fully to this. And so my practice has been open since around October of 2017. And I just, a lot of learning, a lot of incredible things happening in here, a lot of amazing connections with people and transformations, you know?
Yes. Now,
I feel, yeah.
how has it been? How has it been to be in a relationship and be going through all of this stuff?
Wow,
This,
yeah, yes, well, both of us undergoing much transformation. My husband now is very open to everything because he's experiencing, especially this year. When I'm gonna quit my job, it's like, what are you doing? Like, what, what is going on? Imagine everybody, like, but I knew I needed to stay in my authenticity. And there was nothing else. I just trusted in the process. And I continue to trust the process. And I just, I have been very blessed because I think each one of us have a very unique energy signature. And I have been very blessed that the people, I don't really advertise my business, is all word of the mouth. I work from home right now. And I just been very blessed with the people, that the clients that are coming in here are transformed. They are receiving whatever they need to receive. And it's incredible, to have that. But I think it's the passion that I have inside my heart, and the experiences I had is what is the true gift that I'm giving. Because when people are going through certain situations, I can feel, because I've experienced and explained to them, that we can get through them with grace and gratitude, because everything that's happening is happening for us. And
yeah,
they are experiences we have chosen. We were here to learn them, to bring us to that higher frequency of that what we are, and to fulfill the mission that we are here on earth to fulfill, to transmute,
yeah,
yes, back into
yes.
love.
Do you get hit with the energies, especially like since the first of the year? Do you feel them come in sometimes and feel you're human, and
Oh,
feel your
all the
emotions?
time, all the
Yeah.
time, Todd. When I was going through those challenging situations, because I'm human, and when my ego would go back and start thinking negatively about a person, or with anger, I've learned to very rapidly, I identify the emotion, but I don't become it. And what I do is I immediately counteract by saying three. If it is a person, I find three qualities that person has it, to counteract whatever it is that I was having. And I also say a prayer for that person. I
Mm.
have that forgiveness decree, which I say it every day as well. So when I start feeling, I neutralize with those tools right away. And I ask my guys to bring me back to the stillness and bring me back to the love that I know that I am. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
And
it
and
gets
it, and it,
easier.
yeah, and then also I think it's interesting too, because you're in a relationship. I guess he kind of woke up after you did, or he's
He's
getting
still
more.
waking up, Todd.
Yeah.
He's also my goodness. He's a doctor. He's a incredible healer. He's like a physical therapist,
Mhm.
but very gifted. Have changed many, but he's now understanding how we need to connect their heart space to the
Oh,
mind and work with intention. And so
yeah.
it's totally changing him as well. He's not, he's, imagine, it's true, a lot of things, but I love that he's embraced and is allowing me to fully be what I'm here to be,
Yes.
and to do my work, and to be my authentic self. And it's just I couldn't be more grateful, for everything. So
Wow. Wow. And what about your patients? Are you seeing a change in your patients as time's gone on? The clients that you have, I mean, is there evidence that they're waking up quicker or receiving information quicker, or you know what I mean?
they are, I don't know if they sleep here when they come, because I the crystals. The crystals are direct energy. So we work with the transformation aspect. I'm always looking for the root cause of whatever it is that's happening to them, anxiety, if there is any issues with the body and symptoms. So I address those. I find what's the frequency of those symptoms, and I work with the crystals. So, and then the Reiki, which the energy goes there, and whatever else I use my mind and my heart to put out whatever it is that I've been seeing that is being shown to me, these energies that we were talking about, all these frequencies, the blues, the rainbows, whatever it is, and I would say that at least 90% of the people that are coming to my doors are attesting to have shifted, to have found a little light. I don't know if they're awakened. I don't know if they're awakened, but whatever the issue at hand that they had has something awoken within themselves. Because what we do, it's just to help them, right? I think I am only providing the environment and showing up with integrity for work that I know that I do, and with my heart. And when a person comes in, they want to do the work, this amazing alchemy occurs and miracles happen, So I explain to people what would be taking place and how, it really is them doing the work. It's them healing themselves. We just show up with provide the room and the space for them to be able to do that,
Yeah.
So
how about on the streets of New York, when you go around and do your thing or just run your errands, are you seeing evidence of people waking up or synchronistic events and that type of thing?
Todd, I don't go out. There is one thing that happened to me. One thing that's happening to me that I'm dealing with right now is that I just don't resonate with a lot of things and a lot of situations
You're blue, right?
that I loved because food wise, there's so much. I don't drink. I was never a drinker to begin with, but I knew that was something that had to go. Even a cocktail, for me, it does not work anymore. Sometimes I'm like, I could have a little sake, but no, that is something that is a non-negotiable for me because it is what my higher self, instructed me to do, But there is a lot of love that we have friends, but we cannot have this type of conversations. I just haven't had the opportunity to sit with certain people that has been in my life for a long time, and has been a distance, because I just don't have the patience with the conversations, with the TV. I don't watch TV. That 2 years ago, I no longer TV because it lowers your vibration to it just drains you out, and I've noticed all of that. And so what I do is I just try to share with people what I'm experiencing. I'm being very, but everybody is on their own journey, and you can only be, I just try to be and live for what I am preaching, basically, and then people can follow. And if they want to ask me any questions, but we have to respect people's own, timing to feel this. I guess it's a very personal thing for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cut out. No, I got you back. So what's on the horizon for you? What plans do you have coming up? I mean, where are you headed with this? So
the next thing I want to do now, I really want to reach out more people, by doing smaller sessions maybe, but I just feel it's been calling me to get out of my house now and just go into different companies to kind of expose people to these metaphysical tools that we have. It is all around us, right? To assist with the awakening by doing it, basically, by showing the shifts that it can occur with them, like with the people that have been here already. So that's where I am at right now, Very cool. Yes. That ought to be very interesting in the New York area. Yes, the energy there, and that's why I don't like to go to New York City so much. But again, I need to get out of my shell now. Is one of the things that I set myself to, to do the things that I haven't been doing and that I've been fearful of doing, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get out of your Blu-ray shell now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because that's very common. What you said, your answer was very common. They don't like to go anywhere. But
Yes.
everyone's starting to come out. I mean, they're starting to come out now. What's important is the divine feminines they're stepping up now and coming out, because that's going to make it easier and easier for more of them and other people to do the
Right.
same thing. Yeah,
Right.
and so you are going to also, some of that's going to include public speaking.
Oh, well, you're my first one. I don't know about, yeah, yeah. I think I'm just gonna, what I feel I have to simply follow when those synchronicities, like with situations just like it happened, I trust the spirit very much. I have always trusted spirit because it guides me, either through dreams or through situations, and I find it to be at the right places at the right times. I don't really need to, and so I'm just learning to just trust.
Very good, very good. And where can people find you? Is it your Facebook page? Do you have
I
any
have
other pages?
Yes, I have my Facebook page is New Earth Holistic Healing at Facebook, or my website is NEHH444.earth.
Okay, okay. Do you think that maybe you could put those links up in the comments so people can reach out to you? Because I know some people.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. And I just want to say thank you again for honoring us with your presence and having the courage to come out, and also the wisdom to follow the synchronicities, because we're all tightening up together. And and it's not always planning and words to get us there. So you set a fine example for us in the energetic fields today and yesterday, you and Morgan. And so I know this energy is building. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I look forward to collaborating again in the future if you're up to it.
Absolutely. I'm just so humble and so grateful for being here. And I'm glad I had the guts to do it. But yes, you made it so much fun. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And if there's anything we can do, please put the links in the comments. And if there's anything we can do at Soulogy to help you expand awareness of anything that you're doing or anything you'd like to collaborate on, just contact Morgan or me. But if not, you'll be hearing from us in a few weeks, I'm sure, for a second round of Soul Speaks 5D.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much. Much love. Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you very much. You
Mwah.
take care.
Ciao.
All right. Ciao, ciao.